Hey guys, DJ Sock Puppet here, and would you look at that? It's been a little while since I made a video, huh? Yeah, I know. I was supposed to review the first couple episodes of Sun and Moon anime a few weeks ago, but the thing is, school kind of came out of nowhere, and got really stressful really quick, so I had to focus on that for a little bit. And then the holidays came up with Christmas and then New Year's, just being at home with the family in general. So it all just kind of piled on me at once, and I'm not used to making videos like regularly yet, so I just kind of ended up putting it off. So now, hopefully, that now that things have calmed down, I could try to get into a rhythm of making these things more often because I want to be really consistent with this channel and provide you all with fun stuff. So, unfortunately, since it's been so long, I have to play catch up because now there have been 8 episodes of Sun and Moon that have aired, and I haven't talked about any of them. So I figured the best way to do that, to go over those episodes, instead of making a separate video for each one and reviewing each one like separately and going over all of them in detail and just putting all those videos out, I figured it would be best to just make one video and talk about all of them very briefly. Just go over kind of quick thoughts on each one, not go too in depth, just give a general idea of what I thought of each episode. So first up, I'm going to talk about the first 2 episodes together since they aired back to back. So that would be episode 1, Alola, New Islands, New Pokemon, and episode 2, Enter the Guardian Deity Tapu Koko. So these two were basically just an intro to the series, an intro to the Alola region. And so when we started out with this episode, I was kind of disappointed at first because we didn't start in Kanto. We just started right in Alola, like out of nowhere. And they did do like a small flashback a little bit into the episode, which was fine, but it was all kind of sped up and not like delved too much upon. I think it would have been more fun just to see Ash in Kanto for just a little bit. But overall, I thought these 2 episodes were pretty good in terms of setting a tone for the series. It got me interested in it. Like I could definitely say that Sun and Moon grew on me over time, like from when it was first announced to now that it's fully airing. And I think the first 2 episodes definitely helped cement some more confidence in me that it was going to be a good series. And I guess I would talk about some of the new companions, but they kind of get some focus later on, so I would like to talk about them then. I guess the only one that doesn't is Kiawe. He doesn't really get his own episode later on in these first 8, so there's not too much I could say about him. I'll say that I like him, so there's my Kiawe discussion. I'll also say I thought it was really well handled how Ash was able to get the Z ring and then have the Z crystal taken away from him. So it's like, okay, he's not ready. But it gives him a taste of kind of what is to come for him and for us to see go on in the anime. But yeah, I like how he didn't just get it immediately, and now he's got to work for it later on. So next episodes 3 and 4 also aired together, so I'll go ahead and talk about them at the same time. So episode 3, we have Good Roto Morning, I am the Rotom Dex, and episode 4 is Enter Rowlet. So episode 3, we get the introduction of the Rotom Dex, which is going to be accompanying Ash on his journey in this region, if he even goes anywhere, because we're still not sure about that yet. But I've seen a lot of people kind of mixed on Rotom Dex. But personally, I like it very much. I liked it in the games, and I like the personality they gave it here. I also like that he has Wayward's voice from Fate Zero, which is a series I watch. So that's fun to hear his voice inside the Rotom Dex. And also in this episode, we get Team Rocket being introduced for the series. And I guess as a side note, real quick, when we first got the designs of the characters for Sun and Moon, I really did not like how Team Rocket looked at all. Like, I straight up hated it. But I got used to it, and I think seeing them animated, it makes it look a lot better. So I don't have as much of a problem with that anymore. And so far, I'm tolerating Team Rocket pretty well. I got pretty tired of them a lot during the XY series because they kind of just showed up. But it seems like they're using them kind of like sort of sparingly so far, and I don't think I've ever like had a hard time with them yet. And also, I'll say that the gag that they have with Beware, that's really funny. I like how they haven't actually blasted off yet. It's just been Beware carrying it away. Uh, and also, uh, I haven't really talked about episode 4 yet, but that's where Jesse catches Mimikyu. And then episode 3, right before, is where they first encounter Mimikyu. And the personality they gave Mimikyu in this series, it's I just love how it's so drastically different than how they kind of painted it in the games and how the fandom has kind of like sort of formed his personality. It's just straight up hates Pikachu, like it wants it dead. Like I just think that's hilarious, and I think it's gonna be interesting seeing it with Team Rocket. And yeah, so that's it for episode 3. Then episode 4, we see some of the aftermath with Beware and Mimikyu and all that. But then this is also the episode where Ash catches his first Pokemon in the Alola region, which is a Rowlet, which I think is pretty cool because Rowlet was pretty much my favorite starter since the beginning. It's what I used in my game, so I like that Ash has one now as well. And I thought the the Rowlet in this series was really interesting because he was raised by this group of Picky Peck, so he kind of just didn't belong. And I also like how towards the end of the episode, like even though Ash catches him in a Pokeball, Rowlet tends to stay in Ash's backpack instead. I think that's a nice little trait to have, and it seems like something that the fandom has definitely liked as well. I see tons of like gifs and pictures of Rowlet in a backpack, and everyone just thinks it's so cool, which I don't blame them because it is cool. It's pretty awesome. And also, this episode features Mallow pretty prominently. Now, it's not really a Mallow focused episode, so there's not much I could say based on that. But I can also say I like Mallow too, and I like the way that she interacts with, especially with Ash and Lily. I like how she interacted with them, and also the other characters as well. I think Mallow's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I guess that's about it for that episode. So now we're moving into just the singular episodes now. Episode 5 is Poplio, Do Your Balloonist. And this episode is definitely a Lana episode through and through, so I could talk about her in a little more detail. Uh, I I will say, before the series started, and we got a reveal of all the companions, in terms of Poke Girls, a lot of the fandom, most of them tended to gravitate either towards Mallow or towards Lily. And Lana wasn't getting a lot of love. Now, myself, I personally like all three of them, but just because Lana wasn't getting as much of attention, I just kind of like gravitated myself toward her and like, oh, Lana's the best, which I actually don't really have a best, to be honest. But I just like to give Lana some more attention because it seems like she needs it. So I was glad that she was actually getting an episode, and we could see some of her personality get shown off. But yeah, this episode was a lot of fun. I think that Lana's dream of wanting to just go through the ocean in a giant bubble, that's such a pure dream. I love it. That's great. Like like I hope she does it. Like I really want her to succeed in that. And also, I think it was just a good focus on her in general. And I liked the story of how she found Populo and saved it from Team Skullgrunts. And oh, I guess this is the first official time the B word gag appeared. Because the first, I don't really count the first time, and it just comes sprinting across the water and carries Team Rocket off. That was really funny. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's about it for that episode. So now we're up to episode 6, which is called Zing Zap Toge Demaru. And yeah, this is a Sophocles episode, so uh, sorry, Sophocles fans, you may be disappointed a little bit. Uh, out of all the traveling companions, like, I pretty much like all of them, but at the beginning, I just was not sure about Sophocles. Like, and after playing the games, it just makes even less sense that he's there. Because, I mean, having Lily as a companion makes sense because she's Lily. She's kind of a main focus of the game. But, I mean, Mallow, Lana, and Kiawe, like, they're seen hanging out in the games. They're already friends. They know each other. Sophocles is just kind of, like, doing his own thing on a whole other island. So he just kind of seemed out of place, like, to me at first. Like, uh, being a character in the series. I think it could have done without him. But so I saw this episode as a way to see what Sophocles could do in terms of being a character. Now I know some people don't like him because he seems like kind of a copy of Clement, like being an inventor. I don't really see it as that much. I think they're different enough, but for some reason, Softly just didn't appeal to me that much. But after seeing this episode, I'm just kind of neutral on him. Like, I thought it was an okay episode. It was definitely like more filler-ish than some of the others. Like, I guess you could argue most of these are pretty fillerish. Like, not a lot of plot happened in them besides Ash catching Rowd and then the first two episodes with Tapakoko and whatnot. But, yeah, this episode was fine, I guess. I wouldn't want to see too much more of it. I will say, though, also before the series, when Togedemaru was revealed, like, as a Pokemon, I wasn't a fan of it at first. But, I liked it in this episode, and I liked the relationship it had with Pikachu. I don't know how much they're going to build on that, but I thought it was fine in this episode. And I just like Togedemaru as a Pokemon more because of it. So I guess that's good. Alright, so next episode we have episode 7, which is The Marketplace Wanderer, Litten. Now, I thought this was really interesting because it was sort of foreshadowed that we had seen Litten before, like in the marketplace, and I'm not sure if the Litten that Ash stepped on in the first episode is the same Litten or not. I would like to think it is, but I like how we kind of got some foreshadowing in before we saw this Litten. And what I also think is interesting about this episode is how everyone like expected by the title and everything that Ash was going to catch Litten, but they pulled a little trick on us, and Ash isn't going to catch Litten, at least not yet. I assume he's going to at some point in the future, but it was really interesting that they just kind of went the route of, no, he's not going to catch him yet. Because, I mean, Litten really didn't have a reason to go with Ash yet. I mean, he's got pretty good, and he's taking care of Stoutland, which I thought was a nice relationship to see. I thought it was pretty emotional. Yeah, I liked it. So, yeah, good episode. Defied a lot of expectations, which is always nice in a series like this. And finally, we have episode 8, which aired most recently. Who's in Charge of the Egg? So, this was a really interesting episode. It didn't have a lot of plot stuff in it, but it kind of foreshadowed at some stuff we're inevitably going to be seeing later. So yeah, this is mainly focused on Lily, and we see Lily getting an egg, which is presumed to be the Alolan Vulpix that she's going to have eventually, as we've seen by the posters. And in it, we get to see a picture of young Lily and Gladion and Luzamine. So, even though it seems like they're taking a different approach to Lily's character than in the games, it does confirm that they're going to be a part of the story at some point. So I think that's good, because I was kind of worried that they were diverting like too much away from what Lily was in the games, and they weren't going to show all the Aether stuff. So this episode kind of implies that that's going to happen later on, which is nice, because I think that plot was really strong in the games. So I can't wait to see how they do it in the anime. And so of course Lily's personality in the anime, one of her main things is that she's afraid of Pokemon. So another thing this episode is doing is it's kind of showing her develop into transitioning away from that fear. It's like she's able to actually touch the egg now. She wasn't able to do that at the beginning. But as by the episode's end, she's fine with it now. So I'm sure eventually by the end of the series, she'll be just fine with Pokemon all over again. So yeah, those are some really brief thoughts on all the episodes. I guess I could have said more, but I kind of want to just get this out. So sorry if I kind of rambled a little bit, tried to shorten it. I guess I'll give some overall things on a few extra stuff. I like the opening. I don't think I like it as much as a lot of other people do, but I still like it. Hearing Rika sing is also nice. Now, the ending, Pose, I think that's kind of the opposite, where a lot of people didn't like it at first, but I pretty much liked it from the beginning. And then actually hearing it in the show, like, I still like it. Like, it's just a lot of fun, really happy song. And also, one more random thing, Samson Oaks puns. That's gonna be rough to translate into English. I do not envy the person that has that job. They aired a preview of the first two episodes of the Sun and Moon dub a while back, and I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong, but it seemed like they didn't even do the puns. They just kind of said the Pokemon names. So, but I mean, who can blame them? Like, you have a character that's whole idea is just puns. Like, translating that to other languages is gonna be a nightmare. So good luck to whoever's job that is. Okay, so I think that about covers everything that I wanted to do for this video. Again, sorry if it's kind of rambly and whatever. I just kind of wanted to get out some quick thoughts so I can get in a rhythm of doing this. And looking at the time, I've got a lot of editing to do. So, oh boy, first real long edit because there's gonna be pictures in this one too. Oh boy. Oh well, that's the life I choose to live. All right, so thank you guys very much for watching. If you'd like to leave some of your own thoughts on some of these episodes, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're not subscribed to me yet and you want to see some more content that I have to make in the future, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And I guess I'll see you all next time. So I've been DJ Sock Puppet. I'll see you all in the next video.